Hey folks, welcome to the day after Halloween. Y'all got over your sugar rush? Today let's talk about Herman Cain. You know, that sexual predator that the news is talking about? Let's talk about just how much of a sexual predator we really think he is. Now, a lot of news outlets talking today about Herman Cain changing his story on what happened. Herman Cain hadn't changed a damn thing. That's what happens when you live in soundbite news territory. You take 5 seconds out of 2 minutes and make it sound like you want to. Let's look at what Herman Cain's actually said. Herman Cain denied that he had harassed those women. And he has not changed that story. He was not asked when he said that if there had been allegations made. He was asked, had there been a settlement made? He said no, he had not harassed the women, which there have been no facts to show otherwise. And he said there had not been a settlement to the best of his knowledge. Well, it turns out there was a settlement, which was not brought to him when he was head of the American Restaurant Association. No, the National Restaurant Association. The settlement was so small that it wasn't something that had to be put on his desk to handle. When the allegations were made, he recused himself since they involved him. He didn't want to be involved in any of the investigation. He didn't want to be involved in any of the results. He didn't want anything to indicate that he had taken part in suppressing anything. So, 2 women made allegations of sexual harassment, and one of them was, I think the news reports characterize it as not a gesture that wasn't overtly sexual in nature, but it made her uncomfortable. Well, gee, if you got a mental issue, most anything might make you uncomfortable. If you scratch your chin, and your tongue shows, somebody might think, well, you're suggesting oral sex. Just because the women are stupid and overly sensitive and politically correct doesn't mean he did a damn thing. They're allegations. The investigation showed that nothing happened. The women left the employ of the National Restaurant Association, and they were given a severance package. It wasn't big enough. It wasn't overly large to where Herman Cain, as president or chairman of the National Restaurant Association, had to sign off on it, so it must have been pretty damn small. He's answered 2 questions, he's answered 2 different questions with 2 different answers, but they weren't the same question. Did you sexually harass anybody? No, and he hasn't changed that, and there's been no evidence that he has. Was there a settlement that you know of? He didn't know of at the time. He does now. He acknowledges it. Allegations don't mean a damn thing. Allegations are just things that people use in politics, big boy politics, to try to get an advantage. But we've gotten smart. We woke up. Since 2008, we woke up. Politics of personal destruction aren't going to work. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious as to where these allegations are coming from, we all know that Politico published them first. Politico, who won't name sources, who won't name anything, totally unsourced story. Politico had to get it from somewhere. You have to stop and think. Now, was Politico digging? I guess it's possible, but I doubt it. That leaves other Republican candidates, and it leaves the Democratic Party. Frankly, I don't think Democrats are paying any attention. I don't think Democrats are paying any attention to digging really deep yet. They're going to wait till it's down to 1 or 2 people, or maybe even till it's decided who the Republican nominee is going to be. Then they're going to dig on that person real deep, but this is too early. I think it's another Republican candidate. I think it's another Republican candidate whose butt Herman Cain is suddenly kicking. Personal opinion, I think it's Rick Perry. I think it's the Rick Perry campaign. If you found out where it came from, I think you would find Rick Perry behind it. Could be. But just remember, all it is allegations. And allegations don't mean a damn thing. How about if I just sit here and say that, pick a good Democrat. What's that Democrat's name down in Florida, the head of the Democratic elections? The cutest little communist in Congress since Cynthia McKinney retired, or was retired by the voters. Anyway, that little old blonde down there in Florida, she sexually harassed me. There, I've made an accusation. I've made an allegation. Does it mean that she's done anything? No, I've never met her. Don't want to meet her. Folks, we woke up. You need to be telling people that we aren't stupid anymore. Start bringing us facts. What does this candidate believe or not believe? What does this candidate stand for or not stand for? What's their principles? Will they do what they say or not? That's what counts. The politics of personal destruction? We're done with that crap, Mr. Rove. We're done with that crap, Mr. Perry. You want to beat Herman Cain? You bring a plan where you'll do better than he will. Otherwise, shut your damn mouth and go away.